come on. This is a requested psychic read. Okay, requested. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit of backstory, and then we'll speed up to the present. Okay. The past, present, and future is all going on at one time. Okay. The past, present, and future is all occurring at one time. Okay. This video is for entertainment purposes. This video is on a person that his name is Gary Jones. His body was found with his fiance's body. His fiance's body, Jocelyn Wilson, was found a day after the two went missing. Okay. So let me read their story to catch some of you guys up that don't know about this story that occurred in Georgia. Putnam County, okay, Georgia. Now, I have videos that are coming out that are only for members only, okay, members only. I hope everybody's doing well, you guys. I'm waiting for the movers. They were supposed to move the stuff today, but it won't happen until tomorrow, which is good for me because I have so much to do. I'm doing reads, and I'm in the process of doing my my work area, my workspace, in my living where I live at. Okay, so okay, so let's talk about this story about this man and his fiance. Okay, now I was picking up some stuff psychically before I even started this. And I don't want to miss anything because I feel like everything is crucial to finding. I don't know. I tried to look to see if they found the person that committed this crime. Okay. Because this was a crime. Okay. Also, I was drawn to two other couples in that same area. Okay. Now these two other couples are Caucasian. Okay. They're Caucasian, and it's an older white man and an older white woman. Okay. They were murdered in their home. Okay. Now they lived off of this lake in Georgia. Okay. Now, is there a connection between his death and his fiance's death and these other two? We're gonna get into this, okay? Because I was picking up so much psychically, okay? So let's read a little bit about his story. So a teacher's body discovered a month after fiance found dead near his boat on Georgia Lake, sheriff says. The body of the Atlanta teacher and coach who vanished last month while boating on Georgia's Lake Oconee has been recovered from waters not far from where his fiancée was found dead shortly after their outing, sheriff told news outlets on Sunday. Sheriff Howard Sills of Putnam County told the Atlanta, Georgia Constitution, I guess it's a newspaper, that Gary Jones' body was found on Sunday afternoon in about 45 feet of water on the popular tourist lake southeast of Atlanta. Okay. This discovery was made not far from where the body of Jones' fiance, Spelman College instructor Jocelyn Wilson, was found a day after the two went missing on February 8th. Okay, Jocelyn's body was found first. Okay, and then there was speculations going around that Gary killed his fiance, and then Gary's body was discovered. Okay. So Jocelyn Wilson's body was found The day after two went missing on February 8th. The newspaper report comes, okay, so let me go down a little bit more. Let's talk about Gary Jones, and then we'll talk about what I'm seeing. Jones was a teacher and a coach at the Westminster School, an exclusive Atlanta private school. So he taught at a private school, you guys, okay? Now, I don't know about this lake, but it's a native, okay? The name is a native name, okay? And I'm getting, it means something with water, okay? But I will look up the native name and what it actually means, okay? Because they're showing me a body of water, okay? So the reference of the name of the lake, the natives named it after the body of water, okay? Because they're showing me water. And he was found in the body of water, okay? So he taught at a private, exclusive private Atlanta school, okay? The empty boat was discovered circling the water, triggering an intensive search of the lake. The sheriff office said previously that it had obtained video of Wilson and Jones launching their small boat from the marina. Authorities said at the time that they had been staying at a hotel on the lake, about 85 miles southeast of Atlanta. Oh, that's my movers. Sorry, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, I hope everybody's doing well wherever you're at. We're going to get into what I believe would happen and what I'm seeing. Okay. That was my movers just confirming this move, that they're supposed to be moving my stuff, my belongings. Sorry about that, you guys. Authorities said at the time they had been staying, okay, so they were staying at a hotel on the lake, okay, about 85 miles southeast of Atlanta. The area where the bodies were found is about 3 miles northwest of the dam that separates Lake Oconee from neighboring Lake Sinclair, just to the south. Underwater, timber still stands from when the Oconee River basin was flooded to build the lake nearly half a century ago. I know lakes everywhere, rivers everywhere, are always, even oceans are named after native tribes, okay, indigenous people. And I'm seeing the reference to water, okay, because they were found in the body of water, okay, and I'm seeing this native man point to the water. So I see this native man on the shore, and he's pointing to the body of water. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Wow, this is interesting. So previously searches involved a train. There's so many people calling me. I have a person doing a sketch of the guy that I believe is the killer of Emily Pike. Okay, I have somebody drawing a sketch. I talked to the tribal, the Apache tribe, because I kept saying Navajo Apache, because Navajo and Apache are like cousins, okay? So I have one of my friends drawing the sketch of the person that I'm seeing, okay? So I can send that sketch, because I don't have a sketch artist sitting in front of me, okay? And I don't know if they'll send one out or what, or if I have to go somewhere and where I'm at. But so I have my friend, she's actually going to draw and sketch it out, of how I see him. And then I'm going to email it. And I have talked to the Apache, I guess the police, whatever. I have talked to them, okay, for Emily Pike, okay. Okay, so let's get on to this, okay. Previous searches involved a train cadaver dog, government vessels, and private boats, a helicopter, and underwater sonar to probe parts of the lake as deep as 80 feet. According to Westminster President Keith Evans Jones joined the staff in 2002, and he was a middle school science teacher. Eighth grade, he was at this was a middle school, a private middle school, and he was an eighth grade science teacher. He also was a basketball coach, and he also had the track and field program of Atlanta. Okay, this was in the news report. So this is what he says about Gary, and then I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then I'm gonna get into this reading. I have had the privilege of connecting with alumni, parents, students, and facility members who have shared story of Gary's legacy. In many ways, he inspired both his students and colleagues. He has profoundly impacted the Wildcat community, and his passing will be felt well beyond the boundaries of our campus, Evans said. Wilson was a math. Okay, so Wilson, she is the female, the fiance. Wilson was a math instructor at Spelman College, where she made a incredible impact on all her students and colleagues, and that was a statement from Spelman College. That is where his fiance worked. She was a math instructor. Okay, so they both were in the educational system. Spelman is a prestiged college, and his job was also prestige. Okay. So let me go back, and I want to show you a picture of him. Now, people were speculating, and this is way before his body was even found, that he murdered his fiance. And because they couldn't find him, okay? His fiance was Jocelyn Wilson. He was celebrating his 50th birthday with his fiance. So he was celebrating his birthday. Gary Johnson's body was found in the lake Oconee. They're telling me to look up the name. After 29 days. So they found Jocelyn's body right away, Jocelyn Wilson's body. And then they found Gary's body 29 days after. Okay. I did look at the picture at the lake, Lake Oconee. I'm going to look at it one more time. I keep seeing this Indian man pointing to the body of water. Okay, so that's a reference saying he was in the body of water. Okay, so let's go. So this happened in Putnam County, Georgia. I know I might be repeating myself, but it's the reason why I'm doing this. After 29 days with many questions and almost no answers, they found the body of missing boater Gary Jones. Okay, so Jones went missing on the Lake Oconee on February 8th when he was celebrating his 50th birthday with his fiancée Jocelyn Wilson. Wilson's body was found floating the next day. So they went out on the boat on February 8th. So February 9th is when her body was found floating in the body of water the next day. So they went out on his 50th birthday on the boat. Now it's interesting because I'm like, why are they at a hotel? Because I don't know if he resides in that community, because it seemed like a very like not a poor place by this body of water. It's like a middle class and even higher than middle class people. Okay. Wilson's body was okay. So Jocelyn Wilson, the fiance. Okay, so they went out on February 8th. They went out. They were planning this. They wanted to celebrate his 50th birthday, which is a milestone. Okay, for many people. So they decided to go out in a boat. I feel like he has been out in the boat before. I feel like this is why I'm getting two different things here. Okay, so let's get into this. So they went out on the boat. They wanted to celebrate his birthday. Obviously, this is his fiance, right? This is what they're saying, that I guess he proposed to her. Hold on. Okay. So they went out on Lake Oconee on February 8th when he was celebrating his 50th birthday, when his fiance Jocelyn, with his fiance Jocelyn Wilson. So she was known as his fiance. Okay. Wilson's body was found floating the next day. So Jocelyn's body was found floating on February 9th. So what occurred on February 8th when they went out on the boat? They were getting ready to celebrate. Did they encounter somebody? What happened? Okay. And she was murdered first. Okay. Normally when we do like murder, psychic crimes, or just murders, and he looked like he was in pretty good shape. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what I was getting here. Okay. So Wilson's body was found floating the next day. So her body was found floating in this lake. Okay. This is a lake. Okay. But I'm also seeing other bodies of water connecting to this lake. Okay. If this makes sense. Now, Wilson's body was found floating the next day within the body of water. Okay, so she was floating on top of the water. Okay, because when your body's decayed, your body, there's air that goes into your body, right? So the body comes to the top. Okay, but was interesting was she was found floating with her phone in her hand. Okay, the boat and Jones' shoes were found, but no sign of Jones was seen. So he probably was in the boat. He took his shoes off. You know, they're just enjoying themselves, having a nice, beautiful day. It's his birthday. And not thinking of no danger, like danger, danger, danger. Okay. All right. You plan a trip, you go on a trip, you don't think of danger. Okay. You're on a body of water. Okay. So she was found floating, okay, with her phone in her hand, which I find that very interesting, okay. So was she going to make a phone call to call 911? And they're in the body of water, okay, and we don't know how far out they were on the boat, okay, because it will take some time to get to them if they were on the boat, okay. So let me read more. So on Sunday, March 9th, around noon, Jones' body was found about 45 feet underwater. Okay. So they went missing. They went on the boat on February 8th to celebrate his 50th birthday. His fiancée Jocelyn's body was found the next day, floating with her phone. Okay. Obviously, she was floating atop of the water. This Indian man keeps pointing to the water. Okay. So what else do I need to see here? So then they didn't find him until Sunday, March 9th. So this was 29 days from finding the fiancée Jocelyn. 29 days since the death of Jocelyn. Well, it would be 30 days. Because if they went out on the February 8th and her body was found on the 9th. So did she die that day or did she die February 9th? Okay, when they found her body. Okay, this is very interesting. And I'm pretty sure there was other people out here in this body of water. Okay, so nobody's seen nothing, nobody heard nothing. And I'm seeing like if this is very interesting, like nighttime. Okay? I'm seeing nighttime. I've seen it before I even got into this read. Okay? Um so on Sunday, March 9th, around around noon, Jones' body was found about 45 feet underwater. His brother, Michael Jones, and the family thankful for everyone that helped search for his sibling. Has been probably one of the worst 29 days of our life, and we dependently heavily on our faith. Our Heavenly Father brought us through. He's still sustaining us, and we have come to a new level of faith, of strength, and we just encourage everyone to continue to pray for us, okay? So I want to send my condolence out to this family, both families, because they lost Jocelyn Wilson. My condolence to her. Her family, okay, and Gary Jones' family that was found, okay, because the first thing they were saying was he killed her, okay. So did he kill her and then kill himself, okay? Because he was going out to celebrate his birthday, okay. Um, so they thought that he killed her and then he just fled, okay. Or he's decided to hang around for quite some time and then say, darn, they're going to know I commit this crime, so I'm going to have to commit suicide, okay, for entertainment purposes, okay. Um, Let me read more about this, you guys. So obviously he was relaxing, his shoes was in the boat, but there was no sign of him, okay, only his fiance. Um, my condolences to both of these families. Now I want to show you guys a picture of him. Now, there was a Wisconsin-based nonprofit that found Gary Jones, and we need to thank them too, okay? Because they took their time to come out and look for his body. Okay, there's a lot of these divers that don't even work for like the police department, the FBI, and they may not get money, but they want the families to have closure. Okay, so when they went looking in this body of water, they only found her. Okay, and obviously there was a search. Okay, um, but his body wasn't found 29 to 30 days later. Okay, and they searched that body of water because I'm seeing them search that body of water. Okay, so let me show you a picture of Gary. I don't see anybody charged. So this is Gary. Okay, that's what he looks like. We're gonna say his name. Okay, Gary. Gary Jones. He was a professor, a teacher, um, near the Atlanta area. And this is his fiance. Very nice looking couple. Okay, that's both of them together. And they're on this body of water. And they see the water behind them. So she was trying to call somebody, but it was too late. Now I'm seeing nighttime for some reason. I don't know why I'm seeing nighttime. They may have went out in the day, but I don't know why I'm seeing night. Okay. What I'm getting by just looking at his picture, he was previously married. He has children. I'm seeing 2 children here and 1 child that he took on as a child. Let's go to her. Let me go back to him. I don't get no like bad energy from him. I get like he was a honest man, hardworking man, wanted to make a difference for his community, um, well educated, of course, um, and loved life, and wanted to help and wanted to change and teach. But normally, when you go and teaching, you want to help, you want to educate. Not just it's not just about the education; it's about helping the next generation. Okay. Um, I feel like he was a good father. He was a good friend. He was very loyal. But there's something I'm seeing is I'm seeing a previous marriage with him, and it didn't end well. That's what I'm getting. Okay, the previous marriage did not end well, and the wife still had love for him. Okay, his previous wife. This is what I'm getting. Okay, now let's go to her, Jocelyn. Now Jocelyn does look a little bit younger. Um, I feel like they met like in the same circles. Okay, they knew people in the same circles. They could have met at like some kind of teacher functioning or something like that, educational functioning, lecture functioning. This is what I'm seeing. But there's some friends in the same circles. Okay. She is beautiful, you guys. This is so sad. She was also a teacher. Okay. She wanted to help others. I feel like she was very excited about this trip. I'm seeing her very excited, not knowing like what outfit to wear and stuff like that. She always had to be. She's the type of person that always showed up, okay, for others, showed up for herself, but she also was very stylish. Okay, that's what I'm getting from her. Both of them are beautiful souls. Okay. They're not here on the physical, but they are still here. Okay. Um, when we die, okay, death, we live on forever, but we go to another place of existence. Okay. Not this place. Okay. It's another place. Okay. And death, the concept of death is wrong because we live on. Okay. This is why I talk to my ancestors. We live on. Okay. We are the ancestors. Okay. So I want to look up the name because I don't know why I need to look up this name of this water, this body of water. Okay, so okay, so it means Oconee County was named for the river flowing along part of its eastern border, whose name in turn comes from a Native American word meaning spring of hills and born from water. So something that is born from the body of water. Okay, so there's three sections of this body of water: north, middle, and lower Usani. I hope I'm saying this right, you guys. Um, okay. Okay, so this could be Cherokee, Greek in Creek Indians, Cherokee Indians that name this. I don't know. Okay, this river, but I keep seeing this man standing on the the grounds by the water, and he's pointing to the body of water. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. Okay. So let's look up this river and look at a picture of it. And then we'll get into this. I just want to pull 3 cards on this. I don't want to go too deep, and I don't want to stay on here long, you guys. This is so sad. This river is located in Georgia. But it goes in 3 different directions. Okay. It goes into Millville County, Greensboro, and Madison. Now there's other rivers named after this too. Okay, so let me make sure this is in Georgia. Because I'm seeing other bodies of water named the same. So I just want to make sure, okay? Yeah, this is it. So this is a picture of it. Beautiful. This reminds me of a river and a spring in Fort White, Florida. You have to have private access to get into this place. Okay, it's in Fort White. When I went there, I felt the natives all around that area. Okay, that weren't in the physical. Okay, they were in the spiritual, and I got into the springs. Okay, I wish I could stay there. My youngest daughter's boyfriend mother, they have property there. Okay, it's a natural spring. Okay, it's beautiful. Okay, this kind of reminds me of this area in Gainesville. They call it Fort White. Okay, Fort White is the place in Gainesville. Okay, it has a natural spring and then a river and all that stuff. And people go tubing, they go on the boat. But okay, so let me show you more images of it. I just want us to get a look at it. Now, there is a dam. Okay. See it? So, let me stay on them because I'm picking up something else. So, I keep seeing this native man point to the body of water. So, let's get 3 cards on this whole situation. On Gary Jones and Jocelyn. Okay. Jocelyn Wilson. So let's get 1 card on Jocelyn first. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put Jocelyn's name on the description. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. I feel like they were out there just enjoying themselves. They pre-planned this. This card came out, but I want to shuffle this deck. Really, really good. Okay. So they were out there. They were enjoying themselves. He was celebrating his birthday. And they come across somebody. Okay. Like somebody fishing. Because before I started this read, I was getting somebody out there on that body of river that goes fishing. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, and I'm seeing him ask them a question. Okay, at first they didn't think nothing of it because it was just a question that was asked. Okay, and then I'm seeing Jocelyn first. Something her instincts. Something with her instincts was like this, okay? And she was trying to call, okay? Like 911, okay? And so I'm seeing her trying to call 911, but she's on the body of water, okay? Now this person is in a boat, okay? So they come up to them. This is what I'm seeing psychically. They ask them a question, okay? And at first it seems like something that's nothing like danger, okay? And then all of a sudden I'm seeing Jocelyn, like something in her spirit, she was like, something don't sit right here, okay? And the man asked them a question, because it's a man that's asking them a question, okay? And then I see him move his boat closer and closer and closer, okay? The boat was closer, but he got even more closer to their boat, okay? This is what I'm seeing, okay? Now, we got the death card, okay? So we know they both are dead, okay? We got the death card, okay? So the person that came across them, what was their intention? What was the guy that came up to Jocelyn and Gary's boat? What was their intention? Was it just to kill? I mean, oh shit. Okay, we got suicide here. Okay, I didn't know if I was gonna get this. Okay, so let me put this to the side. So I asked, what was their intention? Shit. Now, I don't know. When I first started this read, I said, did he kill her and then he set up a suicide to make it look like he suicided himself because he killed her? But the first two cards came out was very strong telling cards here. Death and suicide. So let me lay those cards out and get one more card. Okay. So obviously they're both dead. Did Gary get in an argument with her and just said, okay, I'm going to take her life and then I'm going to go take my life? Okay. Shit, this card wants to flip. Okay, this is what I was getting. Okay, so there's a couple that also died on this same exact lake. Okay, is a white couple. They keep coming through. Okay, I'm not going to talk about them today, but I will talk about them. Okay, it's a man and a woman and they're Caucasian. They died. Okay, so I need to know if they died from the same, because they're coming up in this read. Okay, and I wasn't going to bring them up, but they want to come up. Okay, they died, and they had money. Okay, they died on that same lake or river. Okay, but I was getting that the person that killed them, because they're okay. I don't want to go to. Let me just stay on this. Let me put the grandparents to the side. Okay. To the side. So we got suicide, death, and grandparents. So what was the intention of this man? Or did Gary... Now I'm seeing social media. So something was posted on social media. Okay, something was posted on social media surrounding Gary killed her. Okay, it was all over social media. Thank you, ancestors. Okay, I don't know why there's a tunnel here. Tunnel. Okay, tunnel. Okay. And I got imprisonment. Okay. Tunnel, imprisonment, death, and suicide. So let's see what's crossing these cards. And then I'll tell you what I'm seeing, you guys. So I asked, what was the person that committed this crime? What were they thinking? Okay, what were they thinking? And it came out suicide. So were they trying to kill themselves? Hold on. Were they trying to kill themselves? These hands are white hands here, okay? But the hands could be any color hands, but was somebody trying to kill themselves? And then we see this white man behind bars. So I don't know if they solved this case, but they will solve this case. I feel like the police thought that Gary killed Jocelyn and then killed himself. That's what I believe the story was, okay? But we're going to dig deeper and get the truth. Okay, this is what I was getting. Jealousy. Jealousy. Somebody was jealous of Gary and Jocelyn's relationship. And because they were dating and what they were putting on social media. I cannot make this shit up. Okay? They need to go back and revisit anybody that was... Let's dig in this more. So the motive of this crime was jealousy. That's what I was picking up in the beginning. Okay, I was picking up, like an angry ex. Okay, but I was picking up more of a feminine energy, not a masculine energy. Okay, so somebody was jealous of them dating. Okay, somebody was jealous of them dating. Now, there's a tunnel here. A tunnel could be something. So this tunnel can be by the river, and there's some evidence in this tunnel. Okay, something that was hidden of Jocelyn's or Gary was placed in this tunnel. Okay, by the body of by the river. Okay, their ultimate fate, and somebody was watching them on Facebook. Okay, social media. Somebody was watching them on social media. Come through. Now, I don't know if somebody committed suicide. And somebody wanted revenge because somebody committed suicide. Or somebody tried to commit suicide because of this breakup with Gary. Because I'm being pulled to Gary. Okay, I'm being pulled to him more. Okay, than Jocelyn. Okay. So this is a passion. I'm hearing a crime of passion. But what does this white guy have to do? Or is he even white? Okay. Somebody was watching their social media, but there's something that was found in a tunnel. And then if you look at the tunnel, it goes out to the river. So this could be a sewer system, a water system. Okay, because if you look really good at the card, it goes out to a body of water. Something's there. Okay, but they met their fate. Their fate was death. Okay, let's put these cards here. And I said, why did the person go out and kill them? So I feel like somebody. I'm also seeing the motel they were staying at. I'm getting life insurance. So was there life insurance out on Gary? So this is a crime of passion. I can't make this up. Okay. So whoever Gary was married to or Jocelyn was with before, they need to revisit their exes. Okay? Whoever they were seeing before. Because I'm being pulled more towards Gary for some reason. Okay. And I feel like his ex-wife, and this video is for entertainment purposes, she's still alive, but she tried to commit suicide, okay? Somebody tried to commit suicide because of Gary stepping away from a relationship. This is a crime of passion, okay? Somebody will go to jail. Now, I feel like, too, they were being followed. And the reason, if the surveillance card comes out, we already know they were being followed. Because the hotel wanted to, like fly out my deck. So they were obviously being watched. Okay. And here goes the boat. Okay. So they were on the boat. Okay. They died. Well, she died on the boat. And this is the $1 million question. Why did it take so long for him to be found? Okay. Did he die that same day? Because that first card I got out was death. Okay. But why didn't they find his body the same day? Okay. Because what I see the police looking at is like, okay, he murdered her, a crime of passion. Okay. Then he went and he suicided himself. Okay. This is the story that the police truly believe. Okay. But the first card that came out was death. Okay, so they died out on that water on this boat. Okay, and this was a crime of passion. Okay, so this is somebody that was watching their social media, following them. Also, that's somebody that knew that they were going to be on that body of water that day, and somebody they were dating. Okay, I'm talking about dating prior to these two being engaged. Somebody was very jealous with them woman's shoes. Okay, very, very jealous. Okay, even probably try to commit suicide here. Okay, said, look, if you don't come back with me, I'm going to kill myself. Okay, let's get 2 more cards on this, and then I'm going to end this. These grandparents are coming forward because there's another case of a Caucasian couple. They died. Okay, the road. We got travel. Okay, so they traveled. Road. What else can I get? Give me 1 more card on this whole situation. So somebody could have left through the woods and came out to the road. Trapped. I don't know why I'm getting trapped. Who felt trapped? Who felt trapped? Hold on. Hold on. Somebody felt trapped. Oops, sorry, you guys. Show me who felt trapped. Is it masculine or feminine energy that felt trapped? This could have been trapped in, okay, torn labor. Give me another card. Torn labor, when I see that card, it's a child card. 38. The person that could have committed this crime could have been 38. Why is he feel trapped? Because torn labor is like something you do that you don't want to do. Okay, official officer. So they're on to this. 22. Thoughts, okay? So this could be a man thinking about a woman or a woman thinking about a man. Okay, this was a crime of passion. Okay, the person that could have committed this crime was 38, 61. But I said who felt trapped? The wealthy man felt trapped. Okay, 31, 13, 22. So I don't know when Gary got a divorce. This is a crime of passion. Okay, they were followed, they were watched. Somebody came up to their boat. And I did see insurance. So somebody got a payout from their death. Okay. And this will go to court. Okay. The wealthy man would be Gary. Gary Jones. And this was a crime of passion. He felt trapped. Torn labor. So he could have torn labor. So the torn labor normally is like a child energy, like a younger energy. I want to make sure I'm not missing nothing with this. The torn labor is like young energy, childlike energy. So he felt trapped by somebody that had childlike energy. Okay, this could have been, let's see if we get the marriage card here. And he was running away from his previous marriage. You guys look, and this is money. So something to do with money here, okay? So money, so he felt trapped. So I don't know if he was paying child support. I don't know if he was paying alimony. But this has to do with a crime of passion. I don't know who his wife was, but there was change in his environment. And this is the reason why Gary and Jocelyn was murdered, okay? Because of money, greed, and he felt trapped. Okay, so what this is showing me is, no, even though he had this good job and all this other stuff, he could have been paying for like alimony, because whoever took their life, was watching them, thinking about them, and this is like obsessive. This is obsessive compulsive. Somebody was obsessed with Gary. Okay, very obsessed with Gary. Okay, or we can reverse it to Jocelyn, but I'm being more drawn to Gary. Okay, now whoever this was watching their social media. They left by, okay, so the person that did this crime was on a boat. Okay, they took the boat, they docked the boat, they left on foot. Okay, in the woods, a wooded area to the road. Okay, so if there's any surveillance camera, they need to find a surveillance camera. I feel like this crime will be this murders will be solved. I feel like somebody was like, get in my boat. And Gary could have been running. Okay, running. I don't know if he died like that day, his body was just in the water. Okay, because I see somebody here running away. But running away also could mean that he was running from the person. Okay, because he felt trapped. Okay. And I did get life insurance policy. So somebody had a life insurance policy out on Gary. And somebody will be going to jail. Let's get 2 more cards, and I'm going to end this for you guys. I might be missing something. I don't know. But this is definitely a crime of passion. Somebody did not want to see Gary with Jocelyn. Okay? Just saying. And I feel like this feminine energy. Like an ex-wife, a bitter wife. Okay? And maybe Gary had to pay alimony, child support. I don't know. Okay. But she had a life insurance policy on him. But he had to keep paying for her lifestyle, I guess. Yep. Oh my gosh. I cannot make this up. Okay. So the woman was a privileged lady. Okay. So she could have put a hit out on Gary. 21. The imprisonment card is here again. Shit, this woman even showed up at his funeral. Okay, 19. This lady is well off. Okay, she's also a mature woman. Okay, and a man was involved in his murder. Shit, this is deep. Did they keep him somewhere? I don't know, you guys. I don't know because I'm seeing imprisonment. A lot of this imprisonment. Okay. Imprisonment came out twice. So did they keep him for a while and then decided to just murder him? I don't know. Or did he die that day? Because death is the first card I got out. Okay. I want to see if I get one more card and then I'm going to end this, you guys. This is so sad. So this was definitely a crime of passion. A community in the marriage. Okay, there we go. Community marriage, false woman, false man. Okay, so this was a crime of passion. So Gary's ex-wife needs to be investigated, okay? Because she hired somebody to kill Gary and to kill Jocelyn, and this video is for entertainment purposes. But this is the truth, okay? This had to do with his marriage. His previous marriage, okay? Gary's previous marriage, the woman was not happy, okay? Because in this card, there's some cracks in the wall, okay? Cracks in the very foundation, okay? They're not together. This redness is passion, okay? The fire, okay? She wanted revenge. She was pissed, okay? Piss. Okay, so I don't know who Gary's wife was, okay? I don't know if any of you guys who follow my page know about Gary's wife. If Gary's wife's alive, her ass needs to be investigated, okay? Also, a man needs to be investigated because there's a connection between her and a man. And I don't know how they had to find out that they were going on this trip, okay? Now, I got a community here, okay? This is very interesting, a community, okay? So, people around the community are speculating this, thinking this, but they're not sure, okay? And somebody will go to jail because I got imprisonment, double confirmation. Okay, double fucking confirmation of imprisonment. Now I want to lay down this marriage card, and I want to pull out one more card, crossing the marriage card. This wife of his, I see her like, oh, I'm going to kill myself. Okay, if you don't come back home, I'm going to kill myself. That type of woman. Okay, now she could have been 39, 29. These are just numbers. 8 can be significant. 3 can be significant. 31, 13, 1, 3, 16, 61, 19, 21. Okay, she felt like this is crazy. This was a crime of fucking passion because of this one man. Okay, this one man will be him. Okay, Gary. And he had to get out the way. Okay. Now she could have I'm seeing a big life insurance policy out on him. Okay. So she probably collected. Okay. So they need to investigate that. But they were being followed. If you see the cards I pulled, they were being followed. Whoever left the scene left through a I'm gonna show you. So somebody that did this was very jealous that they were dating. Okay. Probably try to commit suicide, okay? Try to say, oh, I'm going to try to kill myself since you're leaving me for this other woman, okay? The death was going to happen no matter what, okay? It just happened that day, okay? And they were on the boat, okay? Somebody was on foot in the woods by the water, okay? There is some evidence by the road. And by this could be a sewer system or a tunnel by the river or something. And I think there's I feel like he died the same day, you guys. I'm getting he died the same day. I'm sorry. They both met their fate was the death the same day. Okay, that's what I'm getting. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting here. They both met the fate because when I see the imprisonment, sometimes when you see the imprisonment, you think, oh, they're held captive, tortured, whatever. But the imprisonment symbolic in this reading means he felt like he was in prison, okay, from his previous marriage, okay. This was definitely a crime of passion, okay. He was running away from the marriage, the previous marriage. He wanted nothing to do with it. It was toxic. This woman, his ex-wife was she had childlike energy, okay? She was very childish, very manipulative kind of energy, okay? I'm seeing somebody that would try to cut themselves, call the police, be like, oh, Gary cut me. You understand what I'm saying? That kind of energy, okay? There was money, so there was a life insurance policy, okay? He was also taking care of his ex-wife. So I don't know if it was alimony. I don't know if it was child support. I don't know, okay? He felt trapped, okay? Social media. They need to look on his Facebook, social media, or any kind of phone. There is communication between him and his ex-wife. And this video is for entertainment purposes, okay? Somebody was very jealous. Very, very jealous, okay? And I feel like Jocelyn picked this up right away. Okay, when the boat came next to them, was picked up right away. But the thing is, I don't feel like, and also somebody could have took their bodies out there and dumped their bodies in the water. And the reason why I say this is because that hotel card did show up. So somebody could have put them in a boat and just threw them out in the body of water. Okay, there's a lot of scenarios that could have took place. But whoever did this was definitely a crime of passion, okay? Let's get one more card on this whole situation. If that motel card comes out, hotel card, then their bodies were placed in the body of water, okay? And I don't know if there's a timeline, and I'm surprised nobody did not see, nobody did not see anything. Look, the family card. Cannot make this shit up. Okay, the family, justice, assassination. He was assassinated. So was she. Oh, one more card. Somebody suspects her. Okay, somebody suspects his ex-wife. Wooded area. Okay, he was not killed. Shit. Oh my gosh. Is there another card behind this? Okay, so he was assassinated, and I keep seeing the wooded area. So that shows me that they were not killed on that damn boat. And he was stabbed. Did they say anything about stabbing on his body because somebody stabbed him with a knife? He was assassinated. This is assassination on Gary. This is crazy. And they want justice. Okay, power supply. There could be something by a power supply. Debt. Okay, so somebody has or took his credit card. Okay, I don't believe that like he was assassinated because he was in debt. He owed somebody. I felt like somebody felt like he owed them. Okay, and I feel like it was a female energy, and she hired a damn assassin to kill him. In the wooded area. So his body was placed, look, affair. I can't make this shit up. Gary was having an affair. If you don't know, Gary was having an affair with Jocelyn. Decides to propose to Jocelyn and leave his fucking wife. I cannot make this up. And he was murdered because of this. And she felt like he owed her. And she probably was getting alimony. Okay, maybe the alimony was going to stop. I don't know. Okay, somebody might have been using his card, his debit card. They need to look into that at banks. They need to look into also a life insurance policy. And look into if the wife tried to commit suicide or she went to the hospital. Something's not right with this ex-wife, you guys. The road, the tunnel. Somebody was following them on their social media accounts. There was messages being sent. So there's messages on phones. There's messages on social media. He felt trapped emotionally, spiritually. Okay, money. This was for money. He was a travel. Okay, so traveling. This person traveled. There was an assassin hired to kill him. He could have been stabbed. So there could be stab wounds on his body. They killed him in the woods and then placed his damn body in the body. Okay, Jocelyn too could have had stab wounds because obviously the weapon here of choice was a knife. Okay, this is a heinous crime. This is sad. All for money and greed, and all for you leaving me. Oh no, you're not leaving me. Okay. To death do us part type energy. Okay. You're messing up the whole family dynamic, Gary. Gary was hauling ass from this relationship. This was a crime of passion. They were on the boat. They met their death. This was the first card out. So this tells me this was pre-planned and pre-organized. And somebody knew that they were going to go out that day on that boat. They knew. Okay. This is crazy. That's why they didn't find Gary's body. Because Gary was told to get on the other person's boat. They killed him in the woods and then threw his body in the water. Okay, because he would have been found with Jocelyn. Okay, and I'm seeing somebody stabbing him. Okay, and stabbing her, because the only weapon I got out of all this is a damn knife. And this was a crime of passion. And that's what I was getting, and I was getting at his wife. So who the hell is Gary's wife? His first wife. This is obsession, obsessive. Somebody was obsessed. I'm talking about obsessed, like obsession type energy. Okay, like you can't be with nobody. Okay, they also need to look at who was Jocelyn with before she was with Gary too. Okay, both of them. Okay, there was changes in their life. The police are onto this. Okay, and Gary was a damn wealthy man. Okay, they seen him as a wealthy man. Now there's some kind of documentation, okay, that they have, paper trail here. These grandparents are coming out my read. There's a reason why these grandparents are coming out my read. There's another reading that happened on that same damn lake of two white people that were murdered. And it happened on that same lake. Okay. So their story was lies. Okay. Somebody is lying about this whole situation with Gary and Jocelyn. And I feel like it was definitely assassination on both of them. And they need to look into whoever either Gary was married to or Jocelyn was married to prior to them getting together. Okay. This is what I'm getting, you guys. This is a psychic read that I got. Thank you guys for joining me. Hit that like button. I don't know who his wife is. If any of you guys know, let me know, because I don't know. Let me see if I can find, and my condolences to his family, okay? Gary Jones' wife. Nikki Jones. Nikki Jones. Okay. Now I'm seeing Nikki Jones. Why am I seeing Nikki Jones? Okay, I don't know who Gary's Jones' wife was. I don't know, because it doesn't say. Let me look up Gary Jones' net worth. Okay, it doesn't show me his net worth. They need to look into a life insurance policy, and they need to look into his wife, his ex-wife. And also look into anybody that Jocelyn was dating prior to her getting with Gary. Okay. I'm the reason why I say the ex-wife, because I was getting that right away, that she has something to do with this. So somebody was hired for this murder. Okay. And this was not by accident. This was going to happen because that death card was the first card I got out. And I normally don't get the death card as the first card out. So obviously somebody wanted Gary dead and Jocelyn dead. Okay. So this was definitely a crime of passion. And it was because of somebody's marriage was ending and he was starting a new beginning. Okay. And he could have been having an affair with Jocelyn before he proposed to Jocelyn. I don't know. Okay. But this is what I'm getting, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Jennifer Felix. Hit that like button. This video is for entertainment purposes, but this is a case on Gary. Oh, this is so sad. When you think you know somebody. Gary Jones and Jocelyn Wilson. They both were teachers, educators. Now, I'm seeing a woman here. Hold on. Somebody's in regrets because their ass is going to jail. This had nothing to do with his job. It didn't have nothing to do with Jocelyn's job. This had to do with his love, his relationship. This is a crime of passion. So they need to look in that angle. They need to make his wife take a lie detector test. Anybody that he was dealing with, they need to take a lie detector test. Even anybody that Jocelyn was dealing with, they need to make a lie detector test. Now, I'm seeing a light-skinned guy here. Regret, and we got greed. Okay. So somebody's going to jail. Okay, this guy's light skin. A light-skinned male. This is a younger male than Gary. Let me figure out some more about this whole thing. So somebody got some money, okay? Somebody was promised some money. I'm seeing knife wounds. Yep, look. The debit card, power plant. That power supply. Somebody even used his debit card. It's crazy. Because I thought maybe this was a crime of, like, you know how you rob somebody? But this was a crime of freaking passion. So they need to check all his bank records, all his transactions, the day of his birthday, and those days after, February 8th. Look at this. I cannot make this up. He died because somebody was fucking jealous, you guys. Excuse my French. What's that saying? A woman with, what's that saying they say about women that scorn? Okay, a woman that is scorned out here, okay? The woman was scorned. She wanted revenge. She even had a life insurance policy out on his ass. Woo! Jealousy. Jealousy is a mother. Gotta be careful who you're dealing with. For real. Now I got these two cards. I don't know. The person that could have killed him could be doing like illegal activity, could have used his card. Of course, he was running away. Shit, I would have been running away too. But their fate was death. That road, there's something on that road. Look at this, the hotel. Hotel and revenge. Okay, so this was a passion killing and a revenge killing. So when you are upset with somebody, say you're married with your husband and he leaves you and you're like upset, you know, you love this person so much, people do some crazy shit out here, okay? This killing was a revenge killing. Not just a revenge, jealous, okay? Jealous. They were jealous. Okay? They were being watched at the hotel, from the hotel, even onto the boat, they were being followed out, okay? Somebody seen something, you guys, okay? And the weapon of choice was a damn knife. So he was stabbed. She was stabbed. Now this power supply, I don't know what this has to do with this. It could be evidence left in these areas that I'm mentioning, okay? I don't know. But they need to go back, and these people were fucking greedy, okay? This is the read I got. Somebody was using his card because his MasterCard came out twice, okay? So they were definitely using his bank card, okay? So they need to look at bank transactions. Now she wants to be in regret. Sorry, you hired somebody to kill your husband. You're going to do the time, okay? I'm just saying. All right? All right, you guys. This is Jennifer Phillips, and this video is for entertainment purposes. But this is the read I got on Gary. This is so sad. Let me show his picture once again. So this was a crime of passion. Shit. And I see somebody coming up to the boat. I even see this Indian man pointing to the damn body of water. This is crazy. This is Gary. Okay. He met his death, his fate. That I wouldn't even say it was his fate, but he met his death because of the women that he chose. Okay. So I don't know if the wife did a lie detector test, but she needs to have a lie detector test done. Okay. And this is Jocelyn. He got himself a younger girl, and the wife couldn't handle it. Okay. She could not handle it. Gary loved women. I mean, should he have died because of that? No. Okay. A lot of men are like Gary. Okay. They love women. Okay. And obviously his wife was a crazy ass biddy out here. Okay. In his suicide card, you see somebody tried to commit suicide, right? She could even try to commit suicide. His ex-wife. Look at her. Look at her wrists. If you're watching my channel, look at her wrists. If she has any cuts, marks on her wrists, she did try to commit suicide. Okay, because of what she hired somebody to do. Okay. And she is still alive, but he's not alive. Okay. And they need to look into surveillance cameras around that motel hotel that they were staying in too. Okay. This video is on Gary. This is so sad. And there is another couple that actually died. They were a white couple. They showed up on my reading. He was a college professor. He was found at the lake. And she was found at the lake dead. This was definitely a crime of passion. And his wife needs to be investigated. And I also, like I said, a life insurance policy, okay? All right, thank you guys for joining me. I will share his picture and Jocelyn's picture, okay? All right, thank you guys. Ashe.